Hello, I'm Nova SC, and I'm going to be out of town in a few days, so I thought I'd bring you quite a few games. I'm going to cast a bunch of them so that I have a bunch to upload in the following weeks. So, starting off with obviously me in the bottom right hand corner, and in the top left I've got, I think that's Decibel, yeah, and is probably an old clan tag is ITX, yeah. So, a Protoss versus Terran on King Sajon Station. It's a really interesting map, this one. I've grown to like it a lot. I usually don't like the two-player maps where the naturals are like this, so that they're easily dropped and harassed by air units, but I mean, it's quite an interesting map. You've got this area over here, we can proxy things. You've got quite a wide open area in the middle, so that's quite good for Zerg, and you've got watchtowers which don't cover huge amounts, so that's nice. I don't like... a lot of people hate maps where you've got the watchtower in the middle giving you all the vision you need. That takes away from you need a bit less skill, so that's the reason behind that. And there's this rocks on the natural which allows for lots of cheeses and things. I've tried out myself. There's an all-in where you can build your robo here, knock down the rocks, and then push into your opponent's base with lots of immortals. That's quite a cool build. It doesn't seem like it should work because your opponent has loads of marines early on, but immortals are really good against marines in small numbers because you need overwhelming numbers of marines to just kill the immortals quickly before they regenerate their shields, and beefy things early on are really nice. Just generally good. Just think how good Colossus are in the early stages of the game. So, my opponent's opening up for Reaper opening, I believe. I can't remember the game, it was a couple of days ago I played this, and my memory can't remember 2 days ago. God no. I picked this game just because the army values, or I remember it being quite close at points, so that's the only reason I've chosen this. I've gone for a gas. I've gone for gate first, which is actually quite weird for me because I usually go Nexus first, so I've gone gate first into a single gas. I usually go oracles or some sort of proxiness when I open gateway, because if I'm not going to go all out for economy and go Nexus first, then I might as well exploit my tech in some way, so going for a proxy is usually what I'm doing. And yeah, so there's my probe. That looks like I'm doing that very thing. So opponent's going for a Reaper. He's coming on in. Reapers come out ridiculously early. You don't usually see units before about 4 minutes, so Reapers are really annoying to deal with. He's going for a reactor, so that could be for more Reapers, but it's more likely to be for Marines to defend an expansion, which he seems like he's going to be throwing down about now. Now, I haven't started that pylon yet, probably just going to go to expand first, which is probably the best choice because the Oracle is the idea of the Oracle is to kill workers so that you're ahead in workers, but then if you delay your expansion to get the Oracle out, then you've sort of defeated the purpose of getting the Oracle in the first place, so that's a bit silly. I sent all those probes down so that you couldn't Engineering Bay block me, but then I ended up losing a couple probes to the Reaper because of that, which is annoying. My Stalker comes out, it's going to be able to finish off that probe, the SCV, which is nice. I'm losing in units killed and workers killed, but who cares? Units are favouring me by one single probe. Of course he has mules, so he is ahead in income. Not gas income though, and gas income is pretty important, because I'm only just taking that second gas. I got just enough gas to afford the Stargate after I expanded and the Oracle, and that's it. I'm actually delaying Warpgate quite a lot here. I haven't even got my Mothership Core. It's an interesting build actually. I guess you don't need the Mothership Core quite as fast if you're going for an Oracle, because it does contain the opponent's slots somewhat, but you do still need the Mothership Core. Oh, killing the Reaper is really nice. That's quite good. I'd say I have a slight advantage now in this game because I've killed that Reaper. And the Reaper only killed a couple probes. Yeah, only killed 2 probes, so I think it's going fine for me at the moment. But no, there's not a huge difference in either of our incomes at the moment, so it's a very close game. Oracle coming on in. A couple Chrono Boosts should be going into that. I'm sure I'm going to do that. Pretty sure I'm going to do that. There we go. There we go. Good me. Good me. Still haven't started Warpgate. Oh, there I am. Now I'm getting my Warpgate and Mothership Core. Mothership Core came in obviously before the Warpgate because Mothership Core is very important. And here comes in the Oracle. He's actually going to get quite a few kills. So I already had 1, 5, 6, 7. I've killed 6 Workers so far, plus 3 Marines. 1, 2, more. And 2 more extra, 3 more extra. It's quite a lot of damage there. 12 kills on that Oracle so far, looking pretty good. I'm sitting on only a couple units, so I've got my Stalker and my Mothership Core. That's all I really need at the moment. Adding on that Robo to go to Colossus eventually. Really want an Observer as well, because mines are very strong in this matchup at the moment. Getting Orbitals. Workers should be greatly favouring me when you think about it. Yeah, got twice the workers as him at the moment, but he has still got mules, so the income isn't actually as ridiculous, the one-sided as you'd expect. Though it is almost twice my opponent, but the mule is obviously it's definitely giving quite a big edge to him. Another one comes in. So considering I have twice the workers, he's not as far behind as it looks. He still has his tech coming in. He's getting stim. He's going to get +1 hopefully quite soon, and he is getting safer and safer against these oracles. So the oracle is still doing more damage. I've only made one, so this is quite a small investment for the amount of damage I've done so far. Please keep away from that mineral line. Not going to be able to get much done there. And a small force is going to be moving in. So all I have is Photon Overcharge. So this is quite scary. He almost has Stim as well, so the DPS on this army is going to be ridiculous considering how much it costs. And he's going to move out, losing a mere 50 minerals to force that Photon Overcharge out. And he's still going to have this army when that Photon Overcharge runs out. And I don't look like I'm going to have any units anytime soon. I have a Robotics Bay. And that's about it. I've got 15 kills on this still so far, so I didn't miss anything there luckily. I often miss myself harass while I'm casting the games. And I'm getting that Robo in really soon. And the reason you get a Robo instead of a Twilight Council in most cases is because going for the Twilight Council and the Robo, because you need the Robo for Observers and the Stargate, all those 3 tech paths is really expensive, so it's a lot cheaper going just for the Robotics Bay instead of the Templar Archives. And because Colossus are better against small numbers of units than High Templar. A couple more Marines going down. He really shouldn't be rallying them there. Probably should be rallying to his natural there, near his turret. Getting quite a few kills here actually. I've killed 13, but he's killed actually almost as many. That was a massive hit actually to my economy. Units are evening up a little bit. I'm still 10 ahead of him. But of course, Mules again. He's not out of this game in any way. He's doing a lot of damage, in fact. And I don't have a Photon Overcharge. She's going to kill a lot of stuff here. He's killing off 2 Zealots pretty much for free. I think he might have only lost a... Wow, I'm not moving these probes away. But I do have the Colossus, so I'm going to clean this all up. It's not going to have much of an army, so I can probe in peace. But that was a lot of kills there. 22 kills so far. And that has actually evened up the worker count, so we're now dead even. Of course, I have a bit of a tech advantage now because I've already got my +1 compared to his 000. Well, he doesn't have shields, so 0, and I'm getting tier 3 tech in already. So again, it's still quite close. He's getting his SARP up, which is really important. He needs his tier 3 to cope with my Colossus. Oracle trying to be cheeky, snipe a couple more Marines, but there were too many for him to handle there. And the good thing about using Oracles against Terran is they never stop being useful throughout the game. You can use the I think it's Revelation to see where medevacs are on the map to prevent them from dropping you. And you can do things like this, snipe their SCVs which are producing things. So it's really nice. Unlike against Zerg, where you can't do these sort of maneuvers and snipe things, and against Zerg where you can't actually get up to the harassment units to use Revelation on them. Like, if you went up to a Musalisk, your Oracle would just die, so it's not as easy against Zerg. Though of course Oracles are pretty good against Zerg as well as against Terran. That was a bit of a tangent there, wasn't it? Working on my 3rd Colossus, I didn't get my Twilight Council early enough for me to start ground weapons +2 straight away, so I got armor. Though I'm happy with that, armor's pretty good for my Zealots. But now I'm going to add on an extra forge and work on 2-2 eventually. Adding on lots of gates. I want to stay on 2 bases as long as possible. As long as I still have more things to do, as long as I still have probes to make, I still have upgrades to get, I still have tech. I have no need to expand and and make my position harder to defend, make my expansions harder to defend. As long as I'm equal in economy, I have no real need to get too greedy. He doesn't have many Whew. That really hurts mining of Terrans, doesn't it? And they have to... I think he's ahead. Probably. Oh, I'm somehow ahead in workers again. I guess he wasn't continuously making them. And I guess I must have been chrono boosting my probes a lot, but... It does really cut into the income of Terrans when they produce buildings, obviously. So that's quite a big hit. My income must be ahead. Slightly ahead. Now he's going back to mining, it's not as bad. Slightly oversaturated on this base, and he's mining out in his main as well because of the meals, so he really wants to start expanding pretty soon. And I'm actually moving into an expansion now, and that's because my expansions are becoming oversaturated. Adding on lots of gateways. I just want to have a huge amount of gateways to allow me to defend my very difficult to defend expansions a bit more easily. This base is very difficult to expand, and so is this one, because it's very easy to attack from this angle, very easy to attack from this angle. Attacking from this angle lets you attack this and this base, and drops here are very potent, because you've got this low ground area as well, and as he's trying to exploit as well, here. He's moving in from both angles. Very difficult to defend against this. I'm going to try my best. I have my Colossus Force up here, I'm going to move down to attack that. And he's going to drop here, but it's under a cannon unfortunately. Probably would have been better off going for my main. And it's very close to my Mothership Core, so I can close and overcharge that. He does manage to cancel my third, but that's fine. He hasn't started his third, I believe. He hasn't started his third, nope, so that's fine that he cancelled that. I'm still even with him. Warping a High Templar at top to feed back the medevac down there, and the weakens enough for my Stalkers to finish it off. But he still has one more medevac up here. Probably should have used my mini-map to go up there. That's quite a way. Which has a lot of potential to do more damage, but so I am adding on lots more cannons. One down here, probably a couple more down here. Maybe one here, and probably another one in my main would be pretty good, because this area here is exploited a lot by Terrans to deal some damage. Workers killed, still 22 and 18, it's quite a lot, but I've seen crazier. He's got a few medevacs, he's got some Vikings. Lots more Vikings coming in, he's producing quite a few. Which is nice, because I do have 3 Colossus at the moment. I don't intend to be producing any more, so he has to be very careful not to overproduce those Vikings. Then he has all of his basic upgrades. He's working on +2/+2. So I am ahead in upgrades, I think. Yeah, 2/2, and my 3/1, that's the shields, are coming in for me, so it's looking good for both of us. But now he's going for an SCV pull, and this is because he probably feels that he can't defend a third expansion, and he just wants to punish me for taking mine earlier than him. So this should work pretty well. In fact, without Storm, these pushes are almost unstoppable, because Colossus do not deal enough damage to the SCVs to allow the rest of your army to kill the Marine and Marauder. But unfortunately for him, I do have 4 Stormers with Storm, so therefore they are rightly Stormers. And I am looking at his army and see that he doesn't have any Ghosts, so I'm going to be very risky with my High Templar, moving them up really close to his army and storming, and some massive storms go down, encasing every single one of his units. Trying to keep my Colossus back to prevent them from being sniped, but unfortunately the game ends for him. Fortunately for him, of course, it's great for me. But yeah, so that was a pretty good game. It was close pretty much the whole way through until he went for that all-in instead of taking a third. He might not have been comfortable taking a third. He probably felt like he was slightly behind after losing all those workers, when in fact he was pretty much even with me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that game. I enjoyed this game quite a lot. I like using oracles and dealing lots of damage, and it made it interesting the way he took out a lot of probes there. So yes, again, hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you later. Goodbye!